Bun, I want to bring you in because you're an artist. You're also a lecturer at Rice University, so
Yes,
you're a smart brother. Uh,
I'll take that.
people are going to trust you because they know you. How are you going to educate people in the community? What do you have to say about this?
Well, More Than a Vote is an amazing initiative, and I want to thank LeBron James for having myself, Kendrick, and Stephen be a part of it. One of the main things that we're dealing with right now in the African American community is voter oppression. Voter oppression in the past was really just about intimidation, right? The Klan would come through black communities and tell them, you better not vote tomorrow or else. And even to the point where they would be at polling stations, intimidating people with guns and violence. Voter oppression in 2020 is different. It's more systematic, right? So if you look at Atlanta, Georgia, right? Atlanta, Georgia had malfunctioning machines at black polling places. They had either understaffed polling stations or stations where the people that were working just really didn't know what they were doing. They also didn't have adequate paper forms for when the machines did malfunction. So there's a lot of different things that come into play when you look at voter oppression in America in modern times. And so that's what we're trying to do. One is to combat that voter oppression in Black and African American communities. And then two, to remind people to be vigilant, right? Because there are a lot of forces at play. It's not only going to be in the polling stations. Social media has been a place for disinformation for several years now. And so that's going to be another place where people are going to try to press the vote by, convincing people that the vote got moved or it got canceled, or maybe that specific polling stations are closed. So we got a very real thing happening right now in terms of voter oppression in this country. And we want to make sure that people are informed about what they should be avoiding come election.
So, Kendrick, Bun just talked about Georgia, what happened in Georgia on Tuesday night. On Tuesday, man, went into the night, you could say Tuesday night. We saw, just crazy lines in Fulton and DeKalb counties, which are very high Black and minority population. This is what you said on Twitter. You said they are trying to make it tough as a way to take people's rights. Do you think that this is intentional, what happened here?
Yes. And I've been told by a reliable source, actually a governor, that, we can't fall for those tricks. They see that they outside, what happened outside of Georgia as far as all those African Americans ready to vote, and then all of a sudden, quote unquote, the systems are down or whatever the case may be. That's part of their plan. And we can't fall for that. And we have to bring awareness to that, they do lie. They do come up with things and try to, throw a curveball in certain situations so that Black people cannot vote. So we can't fall for that.
Stephen, there's so much misinformation out there, especially on social media, where young people spend a whole lot of time. Do you guys, I know it's early on, but do you guys have a plan for that?
Well, I have to say from my side, from my perspective, I think the young people are woke. I think a lot of times when all the nonsense was going on during the riots, it was the young people that exploited the people putting bricks and the people trying to get people to tear stuff up that wasn't even with the protest. So I got to salute the young generation. They're really woke, and it's a big following that's following me, and they really made a lot of noise during this protest. So I got to give the young generation some applause, because they woke. They're really making a statement right now.
I got chills when you said that, because I've been saying that all along, is that these young people are out there and they're pulling us into the future. I seriously have chills, because this is not about the establishment. This is about young people, and they're saying, we're done. And quite frankly, they are not happy with some of the things that we put up with. Our generation, people in their 30s, 40s and 50s, they think that we didn't move and push hard enough, right? And so I think that if they're going to be the ones to do it, I think they deserve our full support, because they're standing out there, as I said, standing in an abyss. And they need our support. They need to know that we are visible and that we support them, and that the old heads or the old guards, that we have their backs. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to preach anymore. But Bun,
yeah,
listen.
I'm the resident old head here, so yeah.
President Trump won the 2016 election because, a razor-thin margin, razor-thin margins in places in Pennsylvania and Michigan, Wisconsin. We know how important swing states are. Will your group make them a focus in this election?
Absolutely. If you look at Wisconsin through the primaries, they had levels of oppression in their elections. So we already see what's going on. These are just the primaries, right? These are simply the primaries, and they're already initiating different levels of voter oppression, right? They're testing the water, so to speak. And so we have to be very aware of what we have to look forward to in November. But I have faith in the young people of America. If you look at every civil rights movement throughout history, the young people have always been on the forefront, right? And so it's our job as the old heads, the OGs, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that they have as much information as possible. But if you tell them what they need to do, they will do it. We're seeing it every day in these protests across America and around the world. Young people want to engage, but they do need to be educated and they need to be informed. Because if they're going to get out there and put themselves on the front line and be active and be involved, we have to make sure that they're as informed and educated as they could possibly be so that they can be in the right position to make the right choices when the time comes.